So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in buttfuck Iceland. I am here with my detox coach. His name is Josh Mason, aka Detox Dudes, and we're here in Iceland for 3 nights. We literally just came from a geothermal spring. Mix that in with jumping into freezing lake, steam room, sauna, and just in general, just doing some biohacking, some heavy detoxing while we're out here. And really what we wanted to do out here in Iceland, we wanted to make sure we were in Iceland while we filmed it, is I wanted to get Josh on the channel real quick, just to talk to you guys about, from an entrepreneurial perspective, what you guys can do to get more performance out of your body. Because out of your body, out of your mind, out of everything, right? Just make you a better human, a better machine. And that, you know, because the thing is, I see so many people struggling to reach the next level in their business, and most of the time they think it's some trick, some tactic that's going to get them to that next level, when in fact most of the time it's just themselves, right? It's just the output that they have every single day, and just their output, their work output isn't at a standard, at a level that someone else is at, and the level that it needs to be in order to achieve the goals that they want to achieve. So most of you guys, you know, within the next 1 to 2 years, I'm trying to get to 8 figures a year. So we have to do some pretty weird and wacky stuff in order to do that. But for most of you guys, if you're trying to make 6 figures, multi-6 figures a year, you know, you don't have to do as weird and crazy stuff. But just even from a happiness perspective, from just being a better human, appreciating life more, this stuff is just so crucial. So Josh, anything that I missed out on there, you want to?
I don't think so. Yeah. Just my name's Josh, and I have been running this business, the Detox Dudes, where I help people detoxify. You know, there's a lot of advice and biohacking tips out there, but nobody actually gets to the root of what's going on in a typical human body, and that is a plethora of toxins in our food, in our water, in the clothes we wear, and the chemicals we use in our kitchen are getting into our blood and affecting our biochemistry. So I went through 4 years of a serious illness, depression, major issues, anxiety, panic, and it wasn't until I actually thoroughly detoxified my organs, my tissues, my brain, not with just like a green supplement and not with a juice fast, a very deep, thorough detoxification protocol that completely transformed my life and continues to transform people whose lives I work with. So,
and yeah. You know, Josh came from a place where, I mean, you share this on your own channel. Josh, for years and years, thought about taking his own life. So, you know, if we look at where Josh has come from to where he is now, he's had to just go all in on this. Most of you guys aren't in that position, as I said. So, you know, Josh knows some stuff that is very high level, and you know, you hear some of the stuff that he does, and you'll think he's just a total weirdo, and it's some pretty crazy shit. As I said, today what I want to do is, you know, as I mentioned earlier, I have to do some stuff that's pretty weird and wacky because I'm trying to, you know, get output out of myself that is very, you know, I can't just do regular sort of stuff. But what we want to do today is just really give you some stuff that's very practical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Josh what are 3 must-have, and I know a lot of you viewers, and I used to be like this, you got 15, 20 supplements, and most of them don't actually do anything. So 3 must-have supplements / detox protocols, 3 sleep tips, because honestly I can tell you, for me, when it comes to my general health, if I look at working out, nutrition, sleep, all that sort of stuff, sleep for me will always rank number 1, right? If I get a poor night's sleep, everything else could be a 10 out of 10, and I can't perform. So sleep tips, and the last one is nutrition tips, and then I'm also going to give him a bit of free reign, and he'll talk about some miscellaneous stuff as well. So let's start off with supplements / detox protocols.
Cool. Yeah, my core 3 supplements that I would recommend to entrepreneurs, people who are operating at a very high level, are going to be iodine, MSM, which is sulfur, and glutathione. Okay, so iodine is going to remove halogens from the body. It's going to remove fluoride and chlorine from the body, and it actually decalcifies, and this is already getting eccentric, but it decalcifies the pineal gland. Google the pineal gland. It's not crazy. It's real. Okay, and then we have glutathione, which there was actually a study done that showed that levels of glutathione were correlated with someone's wealth level. Okay, talking about a supplement for entrepreneurs.
I didn't know that.
Yes, glutathione. There was literally a study done that showed that increased levels of glutathione and decreased levels of glutathione were very prevalent amongst the poor, and increased levels of glutathione were very prevalent among the wealthy. So it's the master antioxidant. It reduces inflammation. It detoxes. It's the master control system for detoxification, and you can take it in liposomal form. Regular glutathione will not do anything, and there's thousands of people out there that are taking regular glutathione, wasting their money. And then there's MSM, which is sulfur.
Wait, just repeat that again.
Yeah.
So it's a lipo, because
liposomal glutathione.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's very important that you get that
Yes.
one and not just regular.
Correct. Yes. Not powdered glutathione or reduced glutathione, or even if it says L-glutathione, it's not liposomal. It's still in powdered form. So it's liposomal glutathione. And we have the iodine, which, by the way, like if you watch the documentary series or the series Chernobyl, it's this new series, epic TV show.
Incredible.
What they take for the radiation poisoning is iodine. Okay, so not only are we actually dealing with radiation issues on this planet, we're also dealing with tons of other toxins like chlorine and fluoride. So iodine is a must, and we're not getting enough because we don't eat sea vegetables. That's where iodine is found. Okay, and then the third piece of the puzzle, and again, this is very bare bones protocol here, is MSM, which is basically sulfur. So what we just did for 3 hours is we invaded our body with sulfur particles, and sulfur went to every tissue because it was going into our skin. And sulfur detoxes chemicals, detoxes heavy metals. It makes you feel good. It makes your joints feel good. You notice there's like a feeling of just a well-being that we have right now after the steam springs and the hot springs and the cold. It's because of the sulfur, and we're not getting enough in our diet. You can also get that in cruciferous vegetables, but generally people need to supplement it. So MSM is the name for that. Yeah.
Okay, so that is in terms of supplements and detox protocol, bare bones, but once again, it's 3 easy things that you can implement right now today. If you go to sleep, and I love like just optimizing my sleep. It's one of my favorite hobbies. But
so sleep, we'll do, I guess, basic things. We're not going to talk about like the Beamer, which is a $7,000 device that we both have. So basic things would be blocking out blue light. Okay, I'm sure you've talked about this already on your channel. Blocking out blue light is of critical importance. Get blue light blocking glasses. You can get them for $60 and start wearing them at sundown.
And get Flux on your computer.
Flux on your computer, night mode on your phone.
Because the thing is, there's night shift on your computer. It does okay, but it's not a low enough Kelvin for me. Like I want to like orangey on my computer screen. So Flux, and then that automatically does it. And unfortunately, there's no version that basically Flux is like night shift on steroids. Unfortunately, there's nothing like that for your iPhone. So with your iPhone or your phone or whatever, you're just gonna have to use Apple's native night shift if you have an iPhone.
Yep. I love certain supplements for sleep. Some of my favorite things are lavender essential oil internally. I really like ashwagandha. I really like a formula called Gaia Herbs Sleep Through. Gaia Herbs, Gaia Herbs Sleep Through. And any calming herb that you can find. You find your favorite one. My favorites are chamomile, valerian, ashwagandha, chamomile, valerian, ashwagandha, kava is really good as well. So calming herbs at night, especially if you can get into a routine of having it the same time every night. You shut your phone off, you consciously go into a calm mode. You can't just take things and expect for it to work. You have to meet it halfway. So my favorite thing to do is to wear, this sounds crazy, but I wear the same thing to bed every night. I drink my tea with herbs, with herbs in it, and I will actually, bring myself into a state of calm consciously. So those would be 2 things there, I guess, all in one. I'm not the most practical individual. I'm gonna go off on tangents and you're gonna have to keep me focused. And then the third thing is to block out all light. Okay, so have blackout curtains, unplug your routers. Guys, if there's one thing that you could take from this video, unplug your router at night. Wi-Fi, especially the new 5G, is one of the most destructive things for your cellular health. And most people are sleeping with a router 15 or 20 feet away from their head. Okay, so shut the router off, or even better yet, talking about entrepreneurial practicality, buy a timer.
I already know.
Buy a freaking timer for $10 on Amazon.
There actually is because you can control it with everything. There's actually an Amazon makes one. It's $25. And once again, a timer, what that will do is, I would never remember to actually go turn off my router at any point. Yeah. So that one, it just turns it off automatically at a certain time.
You shut it off at 11 o'clock, assuming you're finished work by, or you're messing around by 9 or 10. Shut it off at 10 or 11, put it back on at 7 or 8 whenever you wake up to do work again. So you are creating a sanctuary in your sleep zone. Then there's so many other things to do, like keeping it cool, and weighted blankets are really awesome. But I would say the number one piece of the puzzle is shut your router. I have some clients who have experienced like 5, 6, 7 years of chronic illness, or feeling low, feeling tired, not being productive, and they unplug their router at night and their symptoms change 50%. They increase their life quality by 50% by unplugging their router. So crucial importance. We're gonna find out 10, 15 years from now, even less, like that was basically like smoking.
All right, so now let's get into nutrition side of things.
Okay. So nutrition is a big subject, and there's so much conflicting advice. I can only give you my opinion and what works for me and my clients. One piece of the puzzle, I would say, is to avoid dairy, gluten, alcohol. They're probably gonna hate this. Avoiding refined sugars. And GMOs. So the biggest culprits, the 6 biggest culprits that you can avoid are going to be inorganic meats and inorganic eggs. Okay, so basically unhappy, depressed animals, or the byproduct of unhappy, depressed animals. Refined sugars, okay, gluten, dairy, especially homogenized pasteurized dairy, which is cooked dairy, so it has no life force in it, and alcohol, okay, and what was the other one? Dairy, gluten, alcohol, inorganic meats, refined sugars. That's it. Sorry, there's 5. There's only 5. Those are the easy ways to win right there. That will dramatically decrease the inflammation in your gut, and therefore, of course, in your brain. If you have a bloated gut, you're operating at 40 or 50% of your capacity in terms of your ability to get into flow state. In any job, in any career, no matter what you're doing, whether it's on the computer or you're talking to someone face to face, if you're bloated, you're losing. You know. So I really like a lot of cooked and raw veggies, cooked and raw organic veggies. I love the wide spectrum of clean proteins like lamb and rabbit and bison and bison and cow and any meat that you can find that's clean. I tend to stay away from pork.
Chicken's okay.
Chicken's okay. Chicken's great. Turkey is great. The avoidance of those things, the avoidance of all of those foods, bringing in all of those.
And just real quick, when it comes to eating those foods or inflammation or anything like that, once again, for me, I was like, all right, cool, fine, I get it. Like, bread isn't that good for you, but if I have a loaf of bread, like, whatever, who cares? For me, the way that I was able to make the mental shift and really understand it is your what's the process called when you're
digestion?
Yeah, digestion. What's that digestive process called? It's the thermogenic effect.
No, I don't know.
I think it's called the thermogenic effect. Point is, I think it's something like 20% of your entire body's energy expenditure in any day goes towards digestion. So the more stress you put on digestion and the more blood that's there, that's less energy put towards other areas. And if you're putting foods into your body that you know causes inflammation, and right, it's different for different people, but those are just 5 that's just more than likely, if you put that into your body, it's going to cause inflammation. If it causes inflammation, then that is not natural to your body, and any form of inflammation is going to take energy away from the rest of your life, the rest of your productivity, and your mental clarity.
Totally. So avoiding those culprits, bringing in all of the healthy vegetables, juices, make your own juices is an excellent way to go about your day with it. You can buy a $200 juicer. It's Omega J8006. That's one of my favorite juicers. Again, so proteins, you have the clean proteins, you have all of the vegetables, raw and cooked, And then for carbohydrates, I love resistant starches. So things like yucca, jicama, acacia fiber. You want starches that are hard to break down. Sweet potatoes are pretty good as well. You want to stay away from very, very quickly digested starches. And these resistant starches will also feed your good bacteria. And then the third piece of the puzzle would be to incorporate superfoods. Okay, so most people are not able to get, look, your folks are all entrepreneurs and they're all willing to spend money on health, most likely, especially if it creates results. Most people in today's day are mineral deficient, and we cannot get what we need from vegetables and meat and whatever else that you're eating that's conventional food. We need to go and find superfoods that are super loaded and dense with minerals and nutrients that sometimes are found all around the world. And luckily enough, we're living in an age where they can bottle it and send it to you through Amazon. Those superfoods will have more nutrients than the past 20 salads that you ate. The foods that I'm talking about are things like colostrum, and I guess this doesn't count as a supplement because it is food. Colostrum, marine phytoplankton, maca, and I'll just give them one more just to keep it simple. Royal jelly. So those would be 4 really, really nutrient dense superfoods that will make them feel very, very elevated and keep them in flow, and again has more nutrients than the past 10-20 salads that they ate.
All right, so we've talked about supplements / detox protocols, we've talked about sleep, we've talked about nutrition. My last final question for you is, if you see one area, one thing that people are eating, that they're doing, that they're having around them, that is just like zapping energy from them, where really you just see people shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
If there's one thing, what would it be?
I think it would be the fact that we're not having time to regenerate. So all of this energy that especially if you're a digital nomad and working in a digital lifestyle, where you're on a computer, you're on a phone, you're watching a screen, you're plugged into this digital world. If we don't have time to reconnect with what we're actually feeling inside of ourselves, even if it's just for 10 minutes a day, to really connect with that, to feel who we are in our core, I feel like that's the biggest mistake. I feel that whenever somebody is operating, they could operate at an amazing level for 3, 4, 5 years. Eventually something breaks because the battery is not meant to go at that level, at that speed. Earth time is much slower than digital, a million different directions at once, and it pays a price. We lose our attention. There's literally studies that have shown that we're losing our attention because of how quickly and how much digital interface we have. So we have to regain who we are at our cores, and that might sound like esoteric or whatever, but if we can take time to reconnect with who we are, what we feel inside, all of our business will be more productive. You know as well as I do that the most successful business people, especially the well-rounded ones, they feel good to be around. If you're not happy, you can't manifest. No one wants to buy a product from someone who's shit unhappy. You want to buy a product, you want to be in someone's presence who loves themselves, who's happy, who takes care of their body, who eats clean. And that's, I've always thought that the most successful people, they didn't necessarily need to be a genius. They just needed to be happy and be fun to be around, and people want to be around them, and they're gonna be the ones who get the job. They're gonna be the ones who make the sales. So that internal happiness, working diligently at that internal happiness, in my opinion, and internal peace and health, is literally pays dividends. Everything else falls into place when you have health. Creativity falls into place. Like, we're definitely at the end of the video now. we got a bus coming. So, like obviously health allows everything else to fall into place. That's my main message. When you have that piece intact, everything else comes after.
All right, well, ladies and gents, unfortunately, we're forced to stop this video early, but I'm going to leave Josh's YouTube video right below. Obviously, I work with Josh one-on-one, and it's not cheap, but if you want a quick, easy portal into this world, he actually has a very, very cheap course that is 10-15 hours that really covers 90% of stuff you'll ever need to know. So once again, Josh, thank you so much for coming on my channel, and guys, we'll let it end here.